Oh, what a beautiful day. Can't wait to do my favorite any percent suitless speedruns. Let's go, baby. Sub 111. Why is everyone crying? Let me refresh my console so I do not crash today on my speedruns. And let's see what happens. Wait a minute. What is going on here? 1.03. All right, anyways, all shit aside, there is a new patch. Let's look at the patch notes. They must just be harmless. I like how this is up here while we read the patch notes. Oh, very interesting. Let's take a look. The latest update for Metroid Dread has gone live. Now offering 1.03 as just a few minutes ago. There isn't anything new in terms of functionality, but it does make one specific change. Below are the full patch notes for Metroid Dread version 1.03 update. Fixed an issue where Samus's damage detection would disappear under certain conditions. We made the decision to fix the issue because there is a possibility that it may occur unintentionally. And if it does, it will result in a play experience that is far different from the way Metroid Dread was originally intended to be experienced. So what does that mean for us? Well, what that means is, it means that the any percent suitless is no longer viable. So, my 111 17 PB will never be achieved again under those conditions. Under the conditions that we have been running with suitless, no crate, access skew, invincibility to get through some of the heated areas, that is no longer a possibility unless there is a new way to find out, unless there is a new method to get invincibility, or unless there is a new method to get access skew in such a way to where we can still skip gravity. Now, my opinion on the matter, and this opinion goes against probably the opinion of, I don't know, the split. Let's just pretend the split's 50-50. My opinion, and it's always been my opinion, is that this is fine. I updated the game. I planned on updating the game. I encourage every other runner that wants to be a part of the competitive leaderboards on speedrun.com who also update their game. Now, one thing that you might be thinking is, well, we already made all this progress, so then we have to backpedal. I think that's the wrong way to look at it, because we did make that progress, but we can no longer beat the game under those conditions, so that doesn't even matter anymore. That progress was still progress in those certain conditions, but we no longer have those conditions, so we no longer can do that route, which is not a net loss, because as long as everyone updates, we still have the same set of conditions to run under. So there really is no net loss. Another thing is that Dread is a brand new speed game, and it has been out for not even a month and a half. It's coming up on a month and a half. There is still so much progress to be made, so much routing to be made, so many opportunities to be made, with who knows how many other glitches that we may find. Granted, we now know that Mercury Steam does watch the speedrunning community at least a little bit, and they do understand that this is a thing that people have been doing, and I highly doubt that this has affected people's gameplay. I never came across this. I did, however, come across the warp, ledge warping, and in practice and stuff on accident. I would imagine that they do know the speedrunning scene, and they know of it, and they know of these glitches. Now, let's imagine this scenario. We say, okay, let's start down patching our switches. Okay, what is the process to down patch? A shitty fucking process to down patch a switch. Okay, let's pretend that I'm a new speedrunner. Little Timothy, little tiny Tim, got a Switch for Christmas. He gets the digital version. Timmy loves the Oatsngoats stream. He loves speedrunning, and he wants to pick up speedrunning. He then realizes that, oh shoot, if I want to speedrun like my hero Oatsngoats, I have to down patch my Switch. That seems like a lot of work, which it is a lot of work. That seems discouraging. I don't really want to do that. That's already honestly too much, because let's be honest, we're all lazy fucks, and Tiny Tim is a little lazy fuck as well. Then what happens is we have people that then get discouraged right off the bat because we are putting up an imaginary, not really imaginary, but a wall that says if you want to be a part of the speedrunning, the competitive, which in my opinion is the most fun part of speedrunning, is the camaraderie, the community building, the leaderboard, trying to climb the leaderboards. That's my favorite part. If you want to be a part of that, you have to jump through these hurdles. And since the game is brand new, we're going to have a lot more people coming into the Dread speedrunning scene. Puts up a barrier of entry that I think is just not acceptable. So, I know a lot of people might not agree with that, but it's always been something that I've said from the very beginning, is if this were to occur, that everyone should update their games and we just roll with the punches, unless they get rid of, like, if they start getting rid of everything and start slashing, they're not gonna get rid of water bomb jumps. They're not gonna get rid of pseudo wave. I mean, they know of it. They're not, and they haven't gotten rid of it with the last patch, so they're not gonna get rid of that stuff. But let's just pretend they did. Then we can talk about it. I've also heard a lot of people drawing, like making a comparison between this and Mario Odyssey, which I wasn't a part of the Mario Odyssey scene. But apparently there was a big split in the leaderboards because people refused to update their games because they made some changes, which then created kind of a divide. It did stunt community growth, apparently. And then I guess they added an update later on, which did something to where it was better for everyone, with maybe like load times or something. And then everyone just updated. So obviously that's kind of for selfish reasons, because really you do want the space to be inclusive. I mean, obviously to a degree, because then you could say, oh, well, it's just allow 30 hertz turbo mashing. You know, it's like, well, you know, which I'm cool with turbos. If people want to use turbos, I mean, I don't really give a shit as long as it's capped. Now, here's the thing. There's a couple there's a couple options that we have. We could archive these runs and put them in a miscellaneous portion of the speedrun.com website. Now, let me show you. Okay, here's a comment. I don't get why people care about ranking so much. If you don't have the knowledge to get 1.0, you probably don't have the ability to be somewhere relevant on the leaderboard yet. Okay, I'm going to assume that's bait, because that's the dumbest fucking thing I've heard all week. Like in Super Metroid, there is a miscellaneous category. They should just take the unrestricted times that have that in there. I mean, that would be a terrible screening process. What they should do is just either get rid of it and we move on because the game is brand new. Whatever. It's not a net loss. It only hurts our fees as speedrunners trying to go fast. So you could either get rid of the unrestricted times and we start again, or whatever, or you go through and you know, you screen the runs, whatever it is. Those runs could be in a miscellaneous category or whatever category, and then that would be 1.02 patch, and then pre that. They could do that just for like either an archive, or if people want to just stay on 1.02 and run that category, they can. If you want to do that, you can. And you can climb the leaderboards on that. That's fine. But I think for the main leaderboards, the ones that when you click on the game, people see and they want to strive to be the best and improve and have a competitive space to where they're having fun. Those categories should be required to be updated to the most recent patch, and that's my opinion. I think it's the best opinion for the most healthy the best community health in the long run. Someone asked earlier why I think they patched it. I don't know. I mean, I could see myself being a developer, and they have all these ideas of how the game can be beat, and they have these like cool sequence break ideas, and then you see people like going invincible, God mode, and then they just break the game. Let's be fair. I mean, that shit was, although it was fun and really entertaining, yeah, it does kind of break the game quite a bit. So I guess trying to understand like the perspective of the developer, I could see why, like, hey, like this could really ruin the player experience. Yeah, exactly. The speedrunners, we are 0.1% of the players that are actually enjoying this game in that way, you know. It was a cool route, but I'm already ready to move on. And believe me when I say I was incredibly sad to hear that they patched that out, you know. Yeah, I just I care about community health quite a bit, and we don't want there to be a barrier of entry already for like the leaderboards. I think that's just crappy. Blink twice if Nintendo's paying you to say this. No, they wouldn't do that. He blinked. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll find something else in the future. But for now, I have to remember how to do the I think I'm gonna go into the no major glitches category for now and beat Zenny's time.